Coming out against Maria, she's a warrior, one of the most consistent players on tour, and someone that never gives up. And it's not easy to beat someone that never gives up. So all of those games were really close and came down to a few points here and there, a lot of deuce-ad games. But yeah, I think my aggressive game style helped me. I had to stick with it. And she was throwing a lot at me and doing a lot of different things. So I had to try to counter that and use my aggressive game style as much as I could.
Danielle, congratulations. It's been 2013 since Serena won in Miami and then won in Charleston. That hard court to green clay, is that difficult? And what do you think about doing that yourself?
Yeah, I think it's definitely difficult transitioning, especially from hard to clay. I think clay to hard's a little different. But hard to clay, you have to be very versatile. You have to think a little bit different athletically. There's a lot of different movement patterns that we do on the clay. You have to get used to the tough bounces pretty quickly, especially if you haven't been playing on clay. That can be tough to kind of react. But I feel like one of my athletic strengths is I have really great hand-eye coordination, and I'm able to react quickly. So that definitely helps me being able to make that transition. But it's not easy. I think you have to be very versatile and flexible and know, when I came into this tournament that it wasn't going to be perfect the entire way through, and there would be little bumps in the road and adjustments that would need to be made in the match. And sometimes that can be hard to do, but I've been flexible this whole tournament with myself. Yeah.
Danielle, do you have any particular mental preparation you'll be making for the final?
Nothing crazy, that's for sure.
Well, I hope not.
Yeah, nothing too out there. I mean, I think keeping things pretty simple, just sticking to my routines, ordering in at night and enjoying a nice meal in the room, and spending some time with my boyfriend Brian. These last couple of days has been really nice because the first couple of days it was a bit of a transition coming from Miami, where I had a lot of family and friends there, and then it was like back to reality. Everybody had to go back to work and back home, and I was here solo the first couple of days, so that was kind of like I had so many people around me in Miami. But it's been really nice having him here. He flew in yesterday after a very long work week, so yeah, it's nice having my best friend here.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Danielle, congratulations. It's been a whirlwind couple days for you, I'm sure. But just curious, besides the fact of wanting to win every match possible in your final season, have you had a chance to sit down and think about or reevaluate your goals for this year?
Well, I would say I'm a pretty high achiever. And so, I have pretty, strong goals, I would say. So I have thought about that a bit. But for me right now, it's all about the process, especially when I'm in tournament mode. I think it's good to sit down a couple times a year and get your stuff written down and do your vision boards and focus on, what you need to do and the adjustments you need to make in your process in order to get and reach those goals. But right now, I'm just very focused on my process. I have to be because I'm in tournament mode and playing back-to-back days. So it's all about preparation, recovery, strategizing, making technical adjustments, those kinds of things. So I'm so consumed with that right now.
What's been the key to this streak you're on?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, it could be, any number of things. I feel like I've been asked a lot of times, do you think because you announced your retirement, you're playing more freely? I think when that's being said, it's kind of like a vague thing or assumption to kind of make, because it's easy to say, oh, well, she's retiring at the end of the year, so she must be playing so freely. But the reality is that I've made improvements each match, and a lot of those improvements have been technical, tactical, athletically. There are things that I've improved, not tremendously, but little by little, and I think it's important to highlight those things. I think if we look at all of the matches in Miami, I started that tournament. I lost the first set 6-3 against Para, and she kind of won that set very decidingly. And I think I came back and I won the match 1-1. But the rest of the matches, I feel like each area of my game, I was improving just a little bit each match. Forehands, backhands, volleys, serves, returns. Everything was just getting a little bit better, a little bit better. And of course, when you're trying to reach certain goals, going back to your question, when you're trying to reach certain goals, so much of getting to those goals is about making those little improvements. And so it's been really rewarding getting to the point where I feel like, okay, I'm making these little improvements, things are clicking, I'm understanding how to work through different challenges when they come up on court a little bit better, how to be a little bit more mentally resilient in those moments, and just being more adaptable. So that's what I feel like it's come down to, is just little improvements day by day.
And drawing on your experience against Daria, what do you feel like you need to do tomorrow?
Yeah, we've played so many matches against each other over the years and battles, and she's one of my favorite players to watch because she makes these matches so interesting. The way that she plays and her tennis IQ, how creative she is on court, it's phenomenal. I think against Dasha, I have to be very flexible. She has just about every tool in her toolbox. She can hit big, she can hit with shape, she can hit slices, she can come into the net. She does everything very, very well. She serves and returns well. She mixes up her pace. She's solid all over. And so it's going to be a battle, and I have to be ready to play a long, tough match if that's what's needed. And I'll have to kind of take a little bit more of a look statistically at some things and some different patterns. But I think the biggest thing is just fighting until the end, and being adaptable out there.
Danielle, when you're on a run like this, are you able to appreciate how impressive it is, or are you just more focused on the next match and what's right ahead of you?
Yeah, I think I'm just so focused on my process, to be honest. And like I said, in order to achieve your goals and to get to where you want to go, you have to be that focused. And I do get to enjoy a little bit of it, during it, but it's not like, oh, well, it's not like we can go and get margaritas after the match and kick up our feet on the couch and eat cheeseburgers, but it's a little bit different. So, but I think it's good because I think we get little tastes of having a lot of fun out there, and then after the match, feeling really rewarded when you're making those little improvements. And I think for someone like me, an athlete and someone that's kind of a perfectionist, making those improvements is so rewarding. And I've been trying to do that now for a little while, and it should give me a lot of confidence, I think.
Can you give us a little insight you mentioned stats, into what you like to look at? Is there a service you use or data, or what are you looking at?
Well, I think I don't want to give away too many of my secrets, right? Because, but I do think at the end of my career, I might write a book. And in the book, I might share some of that. So, I talk about a lot. I mean, I talk about my health. I talk about my challenges. I talk about my life. What's the book title going to be? Yeah, I might have to get a little bit more creative, but because I don't know if that would sell very well. But yeah, I'll have to ask you guys and get some feedback on what the title should be. But yeah, I might have to save some of that for my book.